Defender number 4, Christian Hidiega. Defender number 5, Joe Amico.
Good evening and welcome to Kansas City, Missouri. Well, we have some USL Championship soccer action again in Kansas City as Sporting Kansas City 2 play host to the Oklahoma City Energy. I'm Carter Augustine. Pleasure to be joined here by Jacob Peterson. And Jacob, it's the one home game this year for Sporting Kansas City 2, considering everything that's going on in 2020. We finally have some USL Championship soccer in Kansas City.
Yeah, Carter, it's great to be here. It's obviously been a crazy year, strange year with everything going on, but I think for the team, for Sporting Kansas City too, it's good to be back here and have a game here in friendly confines, even if there are no fans in the stadium.
Friendly confines here in Kansas City, and friendly confines for a player to watch for Oklahoma City here. Tough losses, but they'll want to bounce back here. An opportunity for each team in Kansas City. We'll have the starting lineups next as you're watching SKC 2 versus Oklahoma City Energy. Welcome back into Kansas City. Just saw the national anthem there. Black Lives Matter shirt for the visitors, and both teams, several players kneeling during the anthem. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups, starting with the away side, Oklahoma City Energy. And it's 4 changes from their 4-0 loss to San Antonio on Wednesday. In come the likes of Jonathan Brown, Nicholas Taravel, Tucker Stevenson, and in goal, Cody Lorendi, seasoned veteran for this Oklahoma City side. And meanwhile, for the home side, head coach Paulo Nagamura making 5 changes to the 4-1 loss against Louisville on Wednesday. Coming in goal is John Pulskamp, making his first appearance of 2020. Wilson Harris, Fredino Montpremier, Petr Kujic, and Ryan Fessler also coming into the starting lineup, his first start as a professional. There is Alexi Vizarellis, goalkeeper coach for Oklahoma City Energy, but serving as the main man here this evening. And we are underway here in Kansas City, underway at Swope Soccer Village, the first game here in the USL Championship since October 22nd, 2017. First game for Sporting KC2, as they are called Sporting Kansas City 2. Of course, they were the Swope Park Rangers back then in the Western Conference quarterfinal when they defeated Didier Drogba in the Phoenix Rising way back in 2017. They've made the move to Children's Mercy Park for the past couple of seasons. But here we are back at Swope Soccer Village and SKC2, and their only home game of 2020. We'll be hoping they're friendly confines indeed. Again, I'm Carter Augustine, joined by Jacob Peterson. And Jacob, these are 2 teams coming off tough losses, but maybe a chance to get some momentum as they're both in 4th place in their respective groups here in the 2020 USL Championship.
Yeah, Carter, I think both of these teams will be looking at this game thinking that this is the game where they can maybe get their season back on track. I think both teams have been struggling a bit, but this game's for either team to take. It's going to be interesting to see who presses the pace and who kind of dictates that tempo early on. It looks like Sporting Kansas City's doing a decent job here of knocking the ball around and keeping things moving.
SKC2 starting here with a good amount of possession and immediately out of play there. There'll be a throw-in for the visitors. There's the main man for Sporting Kansas City 2, Paulo Nagamura. Of course, Jacob Peterson, well familiar with Nagamura on a few championship winning sides for Sporting Kansas City. And here comes Ryan Fessler in midfield, making his first start as a professional. He lays it off for Jake Davis. And Fredino Montpremier trying to go one-on-one. He's done well to get it around in towards Camden Riley, who was in an offside position.
Just a little bit unlucky there, Carter. But yeah, back to Paulo Nagamura, one of my favorite teammates, a guy who is a great player on the field, but an even better leader in the locker room, somebody that inspired everybody. I think when he was appointed the coach here, I think he was the right man for the job. He's really kind of dictating and taking his advice from Peter Vermees and developing so many good players here for the first team and for Sporting Kansas City too.
Headed out of play by Dylan Cerna, who's wearing the captain's armband this evening. Left back, vastly experienced. First season with Sporting Kansas City 2, and he heads it out of play for a visiting throw-in. Oklahoma City coming into the game 1-4-3, in 4th place in Group D with those 6 points. And as we talked about, a tough loss on Wednesday, 4-0 to San Antonio. Good step there, Kave Rad.
Great tackle.
And his pass to Freeman well intercepted, and now first touch for Jaime Chavez, the main man for this Oklahoma City side.
He's a player, Carter, that they're going to look to provide those goals, which has been a little bit hard to come by this year so far for Oklahoma City.
Jonathan Brown with the cutback. It's an awkward clearance for Jake Davis, but he manages to just get enough on it and go. Here goes Petr Kujic. SKC2 regain control, and this is something I think will be a tale of the game here, Jacob Peterson. Coming into this game, Oklahoma City 2nd in USL in passes, SKC2 6th. So these are 2 teams that like to keep control of the ball, and they like to pass it around. And that should be a really interesting battle to watch between these two teams.
Yeah, and it's not a huge surprise knowing that John Pasquarello is the head coach of this Oklahoma City team. Of course, he's serving a suspension, I think, tonight, but a guy who was very familiar with Sporting Kansas City, was a longtime assistant coach here, a guy that I played under, who I have the utmost respect for. And certainly his way of thinking of the game is similar to the identity that Sporting Kansas City has had.
Of course, we showed you Alexi Vizarelis, the goalkeeping coach for Oklahoma City Energy, who is serving as the head coach here this evening on the touchline. And got news earlier in the week from John Pasquarello himself that he had tested positive for COVID, but after undergoing protocol and was tested negative again, he's able to serve his suspension here this evening in this game. There's a through ball as Tyler Freeman trying to give chase. Larendi off his line. And here's Wilson Harris with a chip attempt. And it's a goal for Wilson Harris. Tyler Freeman causing havoc. Wilson Harris cleans up like he does. 1-0 SKC 2.
It's a calm and composed finish there from Wilson Harris. It might have seemed simple with the goal there, but he's got to take it down with his chest and just lob it over there with his left foot. But it's a good little through ball here, and Tyler Freeman with the run. Right, he doesn't deal with it great, but really well done there from Wilson Harris to get his feet set, to keep his composure there, and to slot it away. Very well done there from Wilson Harris, but that all started with a really good passage of play and possession there from Sporting Kansas City. The through ball was the end result in the goal, but it was that movement and that interchange between the players that really set that whole thing up.
Third goal of the season for Wilson Harris, and it's an early lead here for SKC 2. Their only home game of 2020. Maybe some questions about offside there in the build-up from Oklahoma City, but looked like on that replay, Jacob, that Freeman was onside, and then is that a second phase of play there when Harris comes back into it?
Yeah, I think that Wilson Harris might have been offsides on the original ball, but yeah, I think once Larendi comes out there and knocks the ball to Wilson Harris, I think that's a legit goal. As long as Tyler Freeman, I didn't see a perfect replay of it, but it looked like he timed his run pretty well.
Our near side assistant referee right on the spot, kept his flag down, Tyler Freeman. And let's take a look at that goal, which has put SKC 2 up 1-0.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he is offsides. I think Wilson Harris might have drifted a bit there, but Tyler Freeman ran the line well there. That's something that these Sporting Kansas City 2 players are taught so well, is when you're a winger to run the line, to make sure that you're even with that back four and then arc your run in. Good run there from Tyler Freeman, who's certainly trying to get his feet. He's trying to earn those first team minutes, and this is a great opportunity for him, and a really good run there from him.
Making his second consecutive start. Those are his only 2 appearances on the season because he is on loan from Sporting Kansas City. He's able to start in the game in Louisville last Wednesday, and here he is making his second consecutive start. Trying to get on the ball there, but Sebastian Ibiaga takes it away from the young forward. Now a chance for Oklahoma City to try and get on the ball. Kuich tidying up, takes it away nicely from Vasiljevic. And back to the other player on loan from Sporting Kansas City, John Pulskamp, making his first appearance of the season, and first appearance for SKC2 since October 12th of last year. Jacob, he'll be hoping it goes a little better. That was an 8-3 loss at Louisville.
Yeah, that's not what you want, but I think watching him in training and being down there with the first team with Sporting Kansas City and seeing John Pulskamp training, he's a young goalkeeper, but he has a tremendous amount of skill. He's a great shot stopper. I like his attitude. He's aggressive. He's fitting in with the guys, and I think this is same thing with Tyler Freeman. It's a chance to get some minutes, try to get some experience, but I'm a big fan of him. I think he has a bright future in this game.
Still just 19 years old, John Pulskamp, and yeah, that's a bit unfair, that 8-3 loss. He was actually the only goalkeeper last year to have more than 1 win for Sporting Kansas City 2. And he had 4 of them. Really a bright future. Of course, spent some time over in England training with Bournemouth. That ball stayed in here on the near sideline. Joe Amico making his return, another former SKC2 man. Watched that one well, and it was tackled away by Riley. Now Amico back in possession for OKC. Good switch of possession here for the Energy. Over to the right-hand side with Zach Ellis-Hayden. One of their ever-present Ellis-Hayden made it start in every one of Oklahoma City's games so far this season. This is the first start for Cody Lorendi this year. A vastly experienced goalkeeper. A full-blooded challenge there in midfield. It's left Fessler now looking at his right ankle.
Yeah, but that was good. Since the goal, Oklahoma City has had a good run of possession here. They've been playing it in Sporting Kansas City 2's half, getting on the ball. You can see guys are getting touches, feeling a little bit more comfortable after they're down 1-0.
Look at a nice 50-50 challenge here. Both players looks like going for it the same there.
Yeah, two players just going in hard there. I don't think there was much to that. Both players are just trying to win it.
Nothing called by the referee, and it looks like Ryan Fessler is back on his feet. As we are just over 10 minutes gone here in Kansas City, Missouri, and SKC2 leading through an early Wilson Harris goal here in the first game back at Swope Soccer Village since October 2017. It's a game I won't soon forget, Jacob Peterson, as there was a long rain delay. Didier Drogba in the locker room here in Swope Soccer Village. It's a locker room that you yourself know pretty well, having played here for Sporting Kansas City, and of course this is where SKC used to train.
Yeah, I'm sure Drogba was very happy with the facilities. Hey, don't get me wrong, they are good facilities, but a player of his caliber coming here, I'm sure it wasn't quite what he was used to.
I want to say it was a 3-hour rain delay, if I remember correctly. But here we are again, back in friendly territory. It was a big switch attempt, but Dylan Cerna reads that the entire way, and here he goes charging down the left-hand side for SKC2. Wearing the captain's armband, as I said. And Kuich is a little upset he didn't get a man-on shout. It's turned back over Oklahoma City. Good back tackling there from the front line for the visitors. And here is Rafael Garcia wearing the captain's armband for Oklahoma City. Vastly experienced, getting on the ball yet again. Unable to get it to Amico here on the near-hand side, but talking to John Pascarella during the week, and he likes the leadership of Rafael Garcia in midfield for his side.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you always hated playing against when he was playing at the MLS level, and he's certainly a guy that adds some experience, that leadership qualities. He's a good player.
Outside of the boot there from Cerna, but it's well cut out along the back line.
That's what you'll see when you watch Sporting Kansas City play, and we highlighted Wilson Harris in the opening, but he's just always on the edge. He's always playing, trying to get in behind. His movement is so good, and it looks like there are some opportunities, especially if Oklahoma City continues to possess the ball the way that they are. Back line will be up, and Wilson Harris will have those opportunities to get in behind.
You might expect there to be goals in this one, as both teams had troubles on the defensive end here lately. Talked about both of them conceding 4 in midweek just 3 days ago. It's Oklahoma City's conceded 16 now on the season. SKC2 have conceded 14, and here come the Energy, just kept in play and cleared away and out for a corner. That was Kabe Rad, but Jonathan Brown looking lively in the early stages here for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and it was a good passage to play too. A good early entry ball, splitting the lines and turn it, and you get Brown there in some space during a corner kick. But Oklahoma City is like I said, after their goal, they were a little shaky maybe before that, and since then they've kind of taken a grip over this game, Carter.
Good response here from the visitors as now they have their first corner kick of the game. And it's Rafael Garcia over to take it. Looks like an outswinger. Both center backs up in the penalty area. It's a good ball. Well handled there. Kabe Rad snuffs out the danger. Second phase now, and it's offside. Offside against Arun Basogievich.
Yeah, Carter, excellent header there from Rad. It looked like there was a little danger there, but he read it as he was backpedaling and cleared that one out. Well done.
Rad is one of 6 SKC Academy products in the starting lineup for SKC2 here. And you can toss in a 7th, that's Tucker Stevenson, we said, in the starting lineup for the visitors as well. One of those Academy products, Pulskamp, put this one out of place. It'll be a throw-in for Joe Amico. Right along even with the 18-yard box. Good move to get around Riley. Amico now around another player in towards the near post. Rad is there to clear it away, and Riley's able to prevent it from going out for a corner kick, but it's a bright run down the left-hand side from Joe Amico.
Yeah, Amico with some good feet there, beating 2 guys.
Inside now with Basogievich. And Kabe Rad has made a couple of plays here consecutively. He plays it out of play.
Yeah, Carter, he's another player that I watched down in Arizona who I was impressed with. He's aggressive. He's got those leadership qualities as well. The player, again, I think he has a big future with this Sporting Kansas City club.
Signed his SKC2 contract down there in preseason with Sporting Kansas City. There's Danny Barbier, who's partnering Rad at the heart of the SKC2 defense. Saw that one coming and headed it out of play. That one's over a defender, and Pulskamp has to be alert. He makes a wonderful slide tackle there inside his own area. From a throw-in, simple enough, but that caused some havoc along the back line for SKC2. Perhaps a chance to counter. Oklahoma City do a good job getting numbers back here. It's Fredinho, Montpremier. 1-2, Freeman plays with Riley. Sizing up his defender. Trying to go in between the two and earns a foul, Tyler Freeman, right on the edge of the area there. Trying to slalom in between defenders here, Tyler Freeman. He's earned a dangerous free kick for the home side.
Yeah, a little meg there on Stevenson. I think he just gets his body in. To be honest, I was a little bit surprised that he got the call, but I think he sold it well. But here's the replay there. Pulskamp makes himself big because, yes, it's a tight angle, but he had to come out. He had to be aggressive, similar to what we see from Tim Melia with the first team, making himself big, aggressive off the line. That's a good save from John Pulskamp.
Half step.
Had to be alert there, straight from the throw-in. With his feet, Pulskamp keeps it at a 1-0 game. Got the lefty Dylan Cerna, along with the right-footed Jake Davis, who is known as a bit of a set-piece specialist. 2 good options standing on the ball here for SKC2. Plenty of players in the area as well. It's Barbier on the back post, but it's just chested out of play. It'll be a corner kick for SKC2.
Yeah, Cerner with the little floater, dangerous ball there. Somebody on Sporting Kansas City 2 can get across, but well dealt there with from the Oklahoma City side to knock it out for a corner.
Fredinho over now to take this corner kick. Of course, he won't show up in the stat sheet for the goal, but it was his incisive through ball that really led to Wilson Harris's opener here. Montpremier set to take this corner kick straight off that last set piece. Short now with Cerna. Take this right footer, just clips it into the area, and a bit of a wasted corner for SKC2. And there's a foul against Danny Barbier, and he's actually going to be yellow carded here. Just stepping in front of the attempted clearance from Cody Lorendi.
Yeah, players are always taught to do that. You just hope that you don't get caught and get a yellow card there, especially as a center back. Now you're going to have to live with that the whole time. But yeah, I mean, he actually tries to jump out of the way, but he did enough where the referee thought that was worthy of a yellow.
Tried to maintain his innocence there. Cody Lorendi, I think maybe, yeah, a little fortunate in that particular instance. Didn't sense Barbier behind him. But it's a yellow card for the center back. And as you mentioned, Jacob, he's got 70+ minutes here trying to hold on to just one yellow card.
Such a gray area there in the sport card. You see guys all around the world try to get the upper hand there. When can you get a little touch in? Does it have to hit the ground? Is it still in the goalie's possession? You see guys always on that line.
What a wonderful ball out to the right-hand side from Wilson Harris. The layoff from Davis just out of the reach of Camden Riley.
Yeah, that was a promising attack there, Carter. You said it. Great switch. Just a little unfortunate. Davis tries a little flick on it, and Riley just can't link up with it. But great switch of play there. It was on there for Sporting Kansas City, too.
Just back to blocking goalkeeper punts, I will say that in my FIFA 98 Game Boy game, that was one of the best ways to score a goal. So I don't think you can do that in FIFA anymore.
Must be legal if you can do it in FIFA, right?
Certainly can't do it here, as Barbier is in the pocketbook. First player for either side to get a yellow card this evening. There's Jose Hernandez getting on the ball in midfield. Tidy footwork there to escape a double team from SKC2.
Yeah, that was really good play there from Oklahoma City. Sporting Kansas City had 3 or 4 guys up pressing, but Hernandez found that little soft spot, and the rest of Sporting Kansas City too didn't step up with them. But even then, it's no secret that Oklahoma City too is good in possession. But when you see it live here, it really is impressive. They've got triangles all over the field. The guys are all wanting to get on the ball, which is what you want to see.
And talking to John Pasquarello this week, he said he's been really pleased with the way the team is playing. And of course, this commentator's curse, as now here comes Wilson Harris on the counterattack. Harris goes for goal! Oh, sniper! He puts it in the far corner! A double for Wilson Harris! And 2-0 SKC2.
Carter, this is an excellent finish. I thought Wilson Harris was going to take a touch. I think maybe he caught the goalkeeper off guard too, but what a finish there in the bottom corner first. Excellent through ball. Wilson Harris, as we said, always on that line, but man, he hits that perfect right into the bottom corner. Nothing that goalkeeper can do there. Great finish from Wilson Harris, but he's always playing on that line. That's why he's such a dangerous player. And as you said, it's the commentator's curse, because Oklahoma City was knocking the ball around well there. It's just that one little turnover, and immediately the recognition. Wilson Harris is off. It's a really good goal there. Really good counter-attacking goal from Sporting Kansas City, too.
Wilson Harris doubles his goal tally on the season here in the first half in Kansas City. He's got 4 now. His brace giving the hosts this 2-0 lead. And Peter Kiewicz, really a heads-up play there to get the assist on the play. And another turnover here on the near side. This time it's Fredinho charging forward. Amico able to recover, and he forces it back to Kiewicz. So SKC2 now have doubled their lead, just as Oklahoma City had started to get a good grip on the game, and it really was an error of their own doing, an unforced error there. Just a simple pass into Garcia that was astray, and it leads to a goal on the other end.
Yeah, oftentimes in soccer, right, that's exactly how it goes, especially with the forward who can run in behind those good counterattacking teams. You always see that. You don't necessarily need to have the ball. Of course, every team wants to have it, but you have a guy like Wilson Harris up top, you're always going to be dangerous no matter what, whether you have 10% possession or 90%. He's always playing on that line.
Garcia's picked out a nice ball to the right-hand side with Brown. Waiting for the overlap, he gets it. It's a cross in towards the penalty spot. A few SKC2 players there. Vasilyevich picks up the loose ball on the edge of the area. Still alive for Oklahoma City here. How about, you talked about it, Jacob Peterson, that finish from Wilson Harris. You see so many times on breakaways, maybe forwards get inside their own head. That was his first touch. He just kind of let the ball go across his body. Just brilliant stuff there from the forward.
Yeah, Carter, it was. I think it caught me off guard a little bit as well as we see the ball go over John Pulskamp's net. But, I mean, he just took it in stride. And when you do that, the goalkeeper, you know, they're taught to get their feet under him, to get set when you think the attacker is going to shoot it. And because Wilson Harris shot that one early, I don't think that Lorendi ever got to set his feet and to really get a good push off. But even if he does, Carter, that was in the bottom corner. That was a really, really, really good finish there from Wilson Harris.
Really did catch Cody Lorendi off guard there, taking it the way he did. Picked out the far corner, and he's put his side up 2-0 here. And there's a foul as Wilson Harris, battling with Garcia, earns the free kick for SKC2. And it is the only home game of 2020 for SKC2, with everything going on in the world and the USL Championship restart. What's that feeling got to be like for a team being road warriors this entire season? You get your one home game here. I imagine that's got to amp up the adrenaline and the excitement for these players for SKC2.
Yeah, Carter, I mean, it really is unprecedented, right? We said it a bunch, but the only thing maybe you can compare it to that I could compare it to in my career is when an MLS team is opening up their stadium maybe halfway through, as Sporting Kansas City did in 2011. But I mean, even then, you know that you're going to have all those home games on the back end. Here, they have one. It's certainly not an easy task for these players. I can't imagine how they're doing it, even if all the games are, you know, within their region, so to speak. It's still a lot of travel, and you're on the road a lot. We were talking about it before game, not just for the players, but for the coaching staff and the support staff as well. It's certainly a grind, and I think being at home, you can see that maybe they're playing with a little bit more energy now that they're back here. But it's no doubt it's a tough task in front of them.
Cheeky flick there from Tyler Freeman, but well read. Rafael Garcia comes over, earns the foul. Yeah, we were talking about it before the game here, Jacob, that maybe it's a little harder for the coaching staff. These guys for SKC2, pretty young. Looking at the starting lineup here today, an average age of just under 21 years for SKC2. So they've got resilient legs, but I feel sorry for Paulo Nagamura and the rest of this coaching staff logging these bus miles.
Yeah, I fear for Paulo. I don't know how he does that. I know if that was me, I'm sure my family would be missing me and I'd be missing them. But hey, that's the price we pay, I guess, for you know, wanting to be in this profession and understand just all the sacrifices that these guys and the players and the staff and everybody has to make.
Well, Nagamura was saying after the game in Louisville on Wednesday, they drove overnight, got to Kansas City around 6 a.m. on Thursday, trained in the afternoon, and then trained yesterday as well. So it's been a bit of a road warrior show here for this SKC2 side this year. Ryan Fessler getting a bit of a talking to here from the referee for standing just a little too close.
It's a good opportunity here, Carter. It's a dangerous spot for Garcia to whip a ball in.
Here's Garcia trying to float it in there towards the back post, and he's just overhit it. You can see him disappointed in himself there.
Yeah, he's just, that's a yard or two down. It's almost perfect. He knows it. A player of his experience knows that that one got away from him a little bit.
Two 2-0 here, just under half an hour played. 2 goals from Wilson Harris. There's a clipped clearance, and Barbier steps forward to slam that header back in the other direction.
Great step there from Barbier. You can see it up here. He anticipated it. He got there in front of the forward. Really well done there from Barbier.
Handball as Vasiljevich just had it bounce up on his first touch at his hand, and referee John Freeman right on the spot there. Kansas City native John Freeman here, getting to call the game in his hometown.
Good referee, good person.
I think one of the top referees in the area. As SKC2 get things restarted here. And they have been road warriors. They did lose 4-1 in Louisville on Wednesday, and Paulo Nakamura saying he was really disappointed in just how the goals were conceded. He thought there were some really soft goals given up by SKC2. He's been really happy with how this young group has been performing in the restart, considering they're on the road and the teams that they've been drawn with in their group as well. You're talking about Indy, 11, Louisville, St. Louis. These are three excellent teams that SKC2 have to play all road games against.
Yeah, I mean, we talked, they are those three teams that have a lot of talent in there, a lot of experience. And you said such a young Sporting Kansas City 2 roster as well. It's a difficult task.
There's a good tackle from Camden Riley as Tucker Stevenson tried to slip Vasiljevich in behind. Deft touch from Harris eludes the tackle of Taravel, but Ibiaga able to cover for his center back partner. Got a chance to talk to Jake Davis this week on the SKC show. If you check out that podcast anywhere you can find them. Very bright young kid, Jake Davis, just 18 years old, playing in midfield here, making his 7th start of the season for SKC2. And he talked about they're up for the challenge in terms of playing all road games. He had the confident mentality. He said, no one really believes in us in this group, in Group E, but he feels like they have the talent here to really make waves. And we saw that at the beginning of the restart, a couple of really good results. Here come Oklahoma City. And that was a good-looking attack there for a couple seconds. But the pass from Jose Hernandez just a bit wayward and out of play.
Yeah, Stevenson does a good job cutting inside and finding, man, it's in that little soft space there. I think he just kind of rushed it, tried a little outside of the right foot when he had other options. He could have taken another touch and really drove at that back line. It was a promising attack. It's unfortunate for Oklahoma City that he didn't connect.
So we've got a hydration break here, right? Just after the half hour. 2-0 the score, SKC2 on top. Jacob Peterson, how have you seen the first half hour on balance for these two teams?
Yeah, Carter, I think overall, if you're Oklahoma City, you got to think you're knocking the ball around pretty well, right? Your possession's decent. You're getting in some quality spots, but you aren't really having that final product necessarily. John Pulskamp had to make one good save, but that came kind of from a fluky throw-in type of a play. But they're knocking the ball around well. You can see that there's quality in the side. It's just when you get in that area, 30 yards in the attacking third, just to make the right pass and find the open option, they just really aren't doing that. From Sporting Kansas City perspective, I mean, they get the early goal, which obviously changes their mindset a little bit. They don't need to be going to press the game, and they might be okay with that possession. We see the first goal here. It's really good through ball there. Tyler Freeman was running the line. Wilson Harris, I mean, that is not an easy skill, even with the goal empty. But Sporting Kansas City has been very efficient. As a second goal, we talked about that first time hit, perfect into the corner. But they've been really efficient. They haven't had too many opportunities, but especially on the second one, they countered quick. They recognized that this was an opportunity to get a shot on goal, and you got to give them credit. But at this point now, I mean, I think the rest of the way, Kansas City's going to feel, okay, we're going to sit back like this and counter when it's on, because they've seen that they've been successful when they can do it.
Yeah, efficiency has been the name of the game for SKC2 in this one, and helps having a forward like Wilson Harris, who really can be a fox around the box. coming over from Los Angeles to join the SKC Academy. And had some big-time Division I offers coming out of SKC Academy, but elected to sign here with SKC 2. We're back underway after that hydration break. You saw the 2 goals during the break there that are currently why SKC2 are up by a score of 2-0.
And Carter, as Jake Davis gets on the ball, he's another guy. We've talked about a few on the Sporting Kansas City team who are right there on the fringe of breaking into the first team of Sporting Kansas City, and he's another guy who I love his energy. I love the feature that was done on the Sporting Kansas City Academy. I thought he when you hear him talk, you can tell that he's wise beyond his years. And when I watch him play, I'm excited for his future. I think there's something there. It's where does he fit into the team? What's going to be his position? Is he more of an attacking guy? Is he kind of a tweener? Where does he find his long-term spot? But he's got a bunch of talent and a lot of potential.
Yeah, I got a chance to ask Paulo Nagamura about him this week, and Nagamura usually doesn't like to talk about individual players. It's kind of a mantra of his in terms of coaching. He said that and then went on about a 3-minute rant about how much he loves Jake Davis. And he said the kid can do everything. As he here closing down the center back, he can cover the entire field, can shoot from range, good passer on the ball. I know he's very highly rated by the coaching staff here at SKC2, as well as Peter Vermees and Sporting Kansas City coaching staff. And good shout, Jacob, that you want to check out the Academy piece done by Bleacher Report Football in conjunction with Audi. Episode 1 just released on Wednesday. And it's an inside, behind-the-scenes look at the Sporting Kansas City Academy, and Jake Davis features prominently, but talked about it, 6 players for SKC2 on the field here from the Academy, 1 for the visitors, trying to grow it into a powerhouse academy here in the Midwest of the United States.
Yeah, Nate, I heard. I'm getting too used to Nate there, Carter. Sorry, but I do think it's such a great feature. Something to highlight the academy, something that they've built here, which a lot of MLS clubs are trying to do around the league. But I think with Peter Vermees and the coaching staff and everybody's bought into it, I think there's going to be, you're going to see a lot of players that start to get minutes, as we saw last night in the Sporting Kansas City game, a midfield trio with 3 academy players who came up, and Gianluca Busio, Felipe Hernandez, and Cam Duke, and all 3 I thought had good performances.
Here's another academy kid, Tyler Freeman, as he has a good take to put this one into his path, trying to cross it to the back post. Headed away. It's a good header from Taravel. He's prevented Montpremier from being wide open on the back stick, and it is out for a corner, though, for the home side. Second corner of the game now for SKC2.
72.
I don't think they'll be in any rush to take these here with about 8 minutes or so here left in the half. With the 2-0 lead, they'll kind of take their time here, especially with Oklahoma City leaving 2 guys up. They got to make sure that they're aware for anything on the counter.
Montpremier curling it in towards the edge of the 6. Barbier battling in with a couple of Oklahoma City players, and he'll chase this one down on the near corner. Kuich, first touch out of play. See what he was trying to do there, take it to the end line, just couldn't quite deaden the ball that was zipped into his feet. But Peter Kuich has come over from Dinamo Zagreb 2. He, along with Dominic Reshitar, and he's still 21. Of course, you talk about academies. How about the Dinamo Zagreb Academy and the players they've put out over the years? Likes of Dejan Lovren, Luka Modric. And it was interesting seeing some of the Croatian papers when these 2 kids, or young men, made the move to Kansas City. A bit surprised to see 2 prize prospects make their way across the Atlantic Ocean. But Kuich now making his 7th start of the season and playing in that holding midfield role. seen some of the talents that he possesses.
Yeah, I think he's been good in there. Taking up space, filling it. He's been good on the ball when he circulated it, but he also finds good spots. He understands you know, where the danger zone is. I think he's done a good job in there.
Premier can't take that one down under the bounce. Well read by Ellis Hayden. And a misplayed pass straight to the feet of Tyler Freeman. He's looking ahead and sees mostly white shirts, so he'll turn it back into Camden Riley. And SKC2 can get back on the ball now here.
It's the right decision there from Tyler Freeman. He looked up, he wanted to go forward, but there really wasn't anything on. It was good recognition there to just bring the ball back. I know as attackers, you're always frustrated. You always want to go forward, but in the end, it was the right decision.
He did kind of look frustrated that he had to go backwards, didn't he? And here he is getting muscled off the ball by Joe Amico. Take another look at this challenge right along the near side.
Yeah, just a little heavy touch there. Just two guys battling there. Tyler Freeman. Of course, we know he's got an aggressive side to him. He always wants to go forward. He wants to mix things up, and you can see a little bit there.
Davis picking up the ball there. Brilliant reading of the game, and he's found Fessler, edge of the area, trying to poke it in behind there from Montpremier. Well defended by Ellis Hayden. He'll have to do a little more defending now as Fredinho on the ball. He's forced backwards, but SKC2 able to quickly recover the ball after losing it in the attacking third. Riley into Harris. Just trying to find a couple of players here on the near side. Just couldn't quite direct his pass, and it's Oklahoma City back in possession.
Yeah, that's a good spot that Wilson Harris checks into. That's the part of his game that he's got to develop a little bit more, of being able to come off the line. We see it with Alan Polito with the first team, how good he is at dropping off those center backs and keeping possession for the team. Wilson Harris is already so good. We've talked about it a bunch, but how good he is running it in behind the defense. Now he's got to work on that, developing, being okay with a pressure on your back and holding that up and keep possession for the team.
Into the final 4 minutes of regular time here in the first half. We did see a hydration break. It is still 86 degrees here in Kansas City, as there's a hefty challenge on the far side. Montpremier pleading his innocence to John Freeman, but it falls on deaf ears as he'll be the second SKC2 player in the referee's pocketbook.
Yeah, I think this is justified too. I think he comes in, just leaves his feet. Yeah, just gets. Oh, that one does not feel good there for Ellis Hayden. He gets stepped on right there, and I think it's fortunate that in front of the SKC2 bench, not the Oklahoma City bench. I think we would have had a little bit of uproar on the other side.
Ellis Hayden looks like he's shaking that off, but yeah, he got the studs right on the top of the boot there. Handball on Jake Davis. John Freeman looking bemused, as if to ask why he's arguing that call. Happened right in front of the referee.
But I love that about Jake Davis. He's got that attitude on him too. He's such a competitor. He's not, yes, he's got the skill, the technical skill and tactical knowledge, but he's also got that, as you see, a little off-the-ball stuff right there from Jake Davis. I'm a big fan of his game, and I think that's a little thing, but I had it as a player, so maybe I appreciate it when I see it in somebody else.
Something about Jake's from Michigan, I think, that lend towards being good soccer players with a little bit of a chip, a little bite.
I didn't want to show my bias and say that he's from Michigan as well, but of course that factors into it. It's Michigan boys, we got to stick together.
Jake Davis coming to the academy from Rochester, Michigan, and he talked about on the SKC show this week with myself and Ali Trost, talked about his journey coming to the Sporting Academy. Had a couple trials with other academies, including the Portland Timbers, but it's something that this SAC Academy can really do, is recruit these young players and he liked what Sporting Kansas City had to offer, elected to come here to the Midwest. Paulo Nagamura, not a bad person to learn under if you want to be a midfielder with some bite in your game.
Absolutely not, Carter. Paulo, I've said it, but Paulo was one of my favorite teammates, one of my favorite players that I played with in my career.
There's a foul on Kuich. Just getting stuck in. Ellis Hayden. He's been in the wars here recently. We'll have to dust off another foul. SKC2 are third in the league in fouls coming into this game, and the visitors are fourth in yellow cards. So both of these teams have a little bit of that edge to their game.
That's the Paulo Nagamura on the side, right?
I did talk to Nagamura this week, and he pleaded for Jacob Peterson to not share any locker room stories on the broadcast.
It'd all be positive with Paulo.
There's a good tackle from SKC2, and Freeman trying to slip it in for Wilson Harris. We're into 3 minutes of added time here. Harris with a few step overs. Well defended there, the double team of Hernandez and Taravel. But Harris still battling there on the far side, near side. And he earns a throw-in high up the pitch for SKC2. Again, 3 minutes of added time here. Amico able to clear this one back to where it came from. How about that touch from Tyler Freeman? Trying to find Fessler on the edge of the area.
What a touch there from Tyler Freeman, Carter.
And just a 50-50 there. Barbier a little overzealous going into the back of Jaime Chavez. And it's a foul against Danny Barbier, and we talked about it. He got that early yellow card for just the shenanigans blocking the goalkeeper's kick. Wouldn't expect that to be a yellow, but he's got to be careful here for SKC2. Mikko back now. Taravel goes to the keeper. Lorendi, who this is 129th game since 2014 in the USL Championship, but just his first start this year for Oklahoma City Energy. Garcia clips this one forward. Cerna able to read that well, heads it into the direction of Kuich.
Good intervention from Cerna there. Oklahoma City looked like they had something on. Maybe if the ball was a little bit over-hit there instead of under-hit, but still good recognition from Cerna to drop back and head out of the danger zone.
Riley playing it forward for Freeman, and Amico really did well to step across the young forward. But Lorendi's in some trouble here. Go back to Amico. The pressure from Harris causing problems. Problems that are dealt with in the end by the back line of Oklahoma City. And offside, Jake Davis just unable to get back into an onside position there after some high pressing from SKC2. Here's Tucker Stevenson, the Overland Park native. Went for the nutmeg pass, but Davis was there to help corral it in a defensive effort for SKC2. Vasiljevich just looking that one go over his shoulder, and excellent work there from Kave Rad.
Very well done. You don't necessarily expect a center back to be that composed in that situation, but he read it well and dealt with the ball.
And that'll be the last action of the first half. Wilson Harris with a brace here in Kansas City, and he's put Sporting Kansas City 2 up by 2-0 in their only home game of 2020. It's 2-0 here at the halftime break. And be right back with us as we'll show you all the highlights from an entertaining first half. Halftime here at the Swope Soccer Village in Kansas City, Missouri. SKC 2 with a 2-0 lead over Oklahoma City Energy. And plenty of SKC Academy products on display here for SKC 2. And we had the chance to go behind the scenes with another SKC Academy product, Gianluca Busio, as he was mic'd up in the bubble in Orlando.
Jesus. I'm trying to play 5v5 today.
Oh, you got the microphone?
No. I'm your best friend? Oh, that's cute. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Spread out.
Swope Field 6! Gee! Yes, sir, Academy. No, baby. 1, 2, 4, 5. Try the no look. Good, Truth. You run in the middle. That's why I put you in there. 4. What a ball. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, play. It's Truth. 3. Oh! Unlucky, cool. Dookie. Hey, Dookie. Unlucky, bro. Dookie, you deserve that, bro. You were terrible. Oh, my. What kind of example is that set, man? You play poorly, you leave. He plays poorly, he stays. Kuz, you're in the middle, bro. 6, 7. Ah, thank you, Kuz. Finally, you're back, man. 2. Oh, you can't do that, man. Oh, that was so poor. 5, 6. Long legs. I didn't like that one from the start. Put it on and make him want to marry me. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Oh, that's just bad timing. It's a fast group.
Ready. Right.
That's not me, though. Oh, Chooch went right. He went right.
Here we go.
I'm not a rat, but you went right. Jers, come on, bro. Hey, Chooch, way to go the right way, bro. Put him on and make him want to marry me. What if it's just in his ear and he's just like, is it? Oh, sorry, bro.
I bet you the first one to get up will be Rich.
Okay. All right, how much?
Double nothing, because you still owe me.
You can't just look at him.
Yes! Yes!
Bro!
Well done, Rich!
Something stupid. Bro, what you doing all them push-ups for?
Great to see some behind-the-scenes stuff there from Gianluca Busio. And we'll get some on-the-scene action here and when we return as SKC2 lead by a score of 2-0 over Oklahoma City Energy. Stick with us. We'll be right back with all the halftime highlights and analysis.
The USL is proud to bring professional soccer back into our communities and across the ESPN family of networks. Follow your local club and don't miss these exciting matches coming up on ESPN2 or ESPN Deportes.
Dr. Champus, the U.S. Soccer has recently instituted the Play On campaign. Try and explain what this looks like in the grassroots communities around the country all the way to the professional level.
Yeah, Mike, I think it starts first and foremost with each of our stakeholders, whether you're a club, a coach, a parent, a player. It starts with setting a tone. It starts with setting a culture. And really setting realistic expectations, understanding that COVID is a virus is going to be with us for an unknown amount of time. The guidelines are very basic and fundamental. What Play On has really created is a single voice and something that all of us can point to as a safe and responsible way that our kids can develop, continue to play the sport, can come together in a very responsible way under the guidance of local, state, and national guidelines that really can be one that highlights our sport across the country and in the world. And Play On has has demonstrated, I think, over the last 2 months, a very consistent message, and that hasn't changed.
Dr. George Champus, Chief Medical Officer for U.S. Soccer, thank you for not only your time now, but also the work you and healthcare heroes around the country have done over the past months.
Welcome back. It's halftime here in Kansas City. 2-0 to score as SKC2 have a lead over Oklahoma City Energy. We just saw some behind-the-scenes action with Gianluca Busio. There he is behind the scenes here at the ballpark as well. Let's take a look at some first half highlights as SKC2 started off with a wonderful through pass that leads to this first goal.
Yeah, and it's that run from Tyler Freeman, that outside in run, gets him behind, kind of creates a little panic there from the goalkeeper. But Wilson Harris with the chest here, one bounce, flick over the top. It looks easy, but that's a difficult skill to do when you got two guys barreling down on you.
And then a turnover here, simple pass into Garcia, overhit. Kuich right on the spot, plays it forward to Wilson Harris.
Yeah, first, what a through ball here from Kuich, but Wilson Harris already knows that he's off. He sees the gap there, and the finish first time, bottom corner of the goal. Really, really good finish there from Wilson Harris.
Yeah, just hit it, so it was trailing away from the outstretched arm of Cody Lorendi. Just the two shots for SKC2, but they both result in goals.
Yeah, we said they were efficient, right? That was exactly what they were, and Oklahoma City has really been knocking the ball around well with that 61% possession, but at this time, Sporting Kansas City 2 doesn't really care as long as they shield everything and make sure that they're not giving anything away right around the top of the box. But overall, I think that those stats really bear out just how efficient Sporting Kansas City 2 has been today.
Efficiency for SKC2, and especially for their main striker, Wilson Harris. 2 goals in this game, that brings him to 4 on the season. And take a look at SKC2's upcoming schedule. A whole lot of ats there. Jacob Peterson is, again, this is their only home game of the season, so they'll be back on the buses here starting in just about 7 days at FC Tulsa.
A lot of away games, as you said. It's I'm sure these guys will be relishing these 45 minutes and really hoping to close this game out because they just go right back on the road for the rest of the season.
Not an easy schedule there as well. The likes of Indy 11, St. Louis twice, a couple of good teams in FC Tulsa and Austin Bold as well. Around the league in the USL Championship, well, how about that? 72 goals plus assists in 72 games. That's a decent rate for Solomon Asante.
Yeah, I think you'd take that.
I think you'd take that. I think anyone would take that. Charlotte Independence signing Christian Cheney, and Team of the Week for Week 8 was announced. Go to USLChampionship.com to check out the Team of the Week. And I would recommend maybe taking a look at some of these guys here because this is a very talented bunch. Zico Lewis, I mean, how many Team of the Week, Player of the Week honors has he had in the USL Championship over the past couple of years? Fantastic player for the Battery. Reminder to go to USLChampionship.com to check out everything like the Team of the Week. I would look at Solomon Asante's highlights if you can because that's an absurd return rate for him. And we will be returning here. Hopefully we get some absurdity in the second half of our own as SKC2 lead by a score of 2-0 over Oklahoma City. On the second half kick coming up next. Welcome back to Swope Soccer Village in Kansas City, Missouri. Sporting Kansas City 2 with a 2-0 halftime lead over the Oklahoma City Energy thanks to this man, Wilson Harris, doubling his goal tally on the season. Joined by Jacob Peterson, I'm Carter Augustine, and Jacob, we've seen some good work from Wilson Harris in the first half. What do you want to see from these two teams coming into the second half?
Yeah, we highlighted Wilson in the pregame, obviously, but he's certainly lived up to that billing. He's got 2 goals. He's got Sporting Kansas City up ahead here. It's going to be interesting. Does Oklahoma City, do they press a little bit more? They've had good spell of possession, but they haven't created too many clear-cut chances. Are they going to maybe be a little bit more aggressive and send some more numbers forward here?
It'll be fascinating to watch here in the second 45 as we are back underway. Teams have switched sides. Of course, SKC2 wearing the all sporting blue kits as Wilson Harris apologizes for the foul on Sebastian Ibiaga. Oklahoma City in their white with green trim as goalkeeper Cody Lorendi will come and take this free kick. Try and move players up the pitch. Oklahoma City trying to claw back in this game as we have had a tough week here, the Energy. And it was interesting talking to head coach John Pascarella for the Oklahoma City Energy. Of course, he had a positive test, as did an assistant coach. And he talked about the past week, that being on the minds of players. I would imagine it'd be difficult to play when you have a positive test in and around the team. And thankfully, they haven't had any more, but certainly has had to be in the back of these players' minds this past week.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no preparing for that, right? It's something that there's no doubt that it weighs on these players. We saw that with Sporting Kansas City, their first team down in the Orlando bubble. Once MLS is back tournament got kicked off, they had a positive test, and they wouldn't necessarily admit it, but after everything was cleared up, guys really were honest about that, and they said it weighed on them. I have no doubt that that's the same case here with Oklahoma City.
There's a foul on the near side, and Arun Basugievich a little upset because he had to wear a hefty challenge after the foul had already been committed. Yeah, Pascarella said that exact same thing for Oklahoma City Energy, that it was probably weighing in the back of these guys' minds, but you have to give credit to the USL Championship and the protocols, the ability to separate players and staff that have tested positive. And we want to wish good news to John Pascarella, who has said again that's back to testing negative several times in a row. Popped up on the near side and out of play, so it'll be a throw-in for Oklahoma City on the right-hand side. Garcia back now with Ibiaga. We only saw the 4 changes from a game that took place on Wednesday for Oklahoma City, and John Pascarella was saying, they'd like to rotate the squad, but they really have their hands tied in some ways. They don't even have a full bench here this evening, Oklahoma City. They do have 6 players available on the bench, but several players out for different reasons. I want to talk to that in just a second, because here comes Ellis Hayden on the near side. He's tackled away, and it'll be a throw-in for SKC2 there. Good defensive work from the home team to snuff out the danger of Zach Ellis Hayden moving forward.
And we see the second half has kind of picked up where the first left off here. Is Sporting Kansas City are okay with letting Oklahoma City have possession, but when they do pick their moments, Sporting Kansas City is pressing hard, and here they should win the ball and get a turnover and get possession back. But a lot of this second half, I think, is going to be played in the Sporting Kansas City 2's defensive half.
Saw Jake Davis there putting pressure on Joe Amico and Cody Lorendi As Jacob Peterson rightly predicted, it did result in a turnover, but this one's off on Premier with throw-in on the far side for Oklahoma City. And just back to their squad issues. Atiba Harris not traveling with the team. Got some options on the bench, including Cordell Cato, but he is dealing with a hamstring injury. Kansas City native Ray Sari broke his orbital bone. Want to wish him a speedy recovery. Talked about Tucker Stevenson. I'm sure Ray Sari would have loved to play here in his hometown this evening. And then Omar Gordon actually went back to Jamaica to be by his daughter's side. She had an operation, and I'm told it was a successful operation. So really great news there, and wishing Omar Gordon and his family well. But that means it's a somewhat depleted Oklahoma City Energy side here. Do have Charlie Ward on the bench, who's played most of the games this season. Somewhat wayward pass there from Taravel, but he'll jump high to head it back into the attacking third.
Yeah, Carter, it's hard enough in normal years to deal with injuries and certain personal issues that come up. But in 2022, just coupled in with a shortened, condensed season, games, almost every 3 games or 3 days, it's a grind. It's tough, and when you don't have a full complement of players, it makes it just that much more difficult for Oklahoma City here to write their season.
Meanwhile, for Sporting KC2, we might have in a normal year expected a few more loanees from SKC at a home game, but Paul Nagamura was saying with the different protocols for the leagues, it's much more difficult to get players from Sporting Kansas City. They have Tyler Freeman and John Pulskamp here today. That's something normally we'd see a lot more of in home games for Sporting Kansas City too.
Yeah, and you got to think that Sporting Kansas City too built their roster kind of anticipating that as well. And then when you don't have those guys that, if they're not involved with the first team, but you want to get them minutes, and you don't have that complement of players, it's similar to Oklahoma City. You just don't have your normal setup going into the season, which I'm sure most teams out there don't exactly have what they thought back in February, but nonetheless, it just makes the season even more challenging for both these teams.
See how they adapt here as this second half goes on. Oklahoma City getting on the ball again here at the early stages of the second 45. Overlapping run, looking for the cutback. It's a good one, and into the area go the Energy towards the far post. Just past everyone. It'll be out for a goal kick, but John Pulskamp yelling at his defenders there as Vasiljevic was able to get in a dangerous spot.
Yeah, he was. He found some space there. It was, again, good spell of possession there from Oklahoma City, which we've seen kind of throughout the game. But in that situation, they got in a good area there with the cutback ball. Again, though, it's just that final pass that's just a little bit off from this team. Otherwise, their performance, the totality of their performance is actually a pretty good one.
John Pascarella coming in his first year here with Oklahoma City. Of course, Jacob Peterson, as we've said, knows him well from his time as the goalkeeper coach for Sporting Kansas City. And it's a yellow card for Wilson Harris. Take another look at Harris becoming the third player in the referee's pocketbook, all for Sporting Kansas City too.
Yeah, he's not really looking at the ball there. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to get that position early on when his elbow comes up. And I'd say it's definitely worth a yellow card. You've seen Wilson Harris try to do that a few times. He tries to get to that spot, tries to beat the player there. It's one of those things as a forward, it's worth kind of taking that risk. Dom Dwyer is a player who's done that a lot in his career. You're just trying to maintain that position and keep possession. But right there, he caught him. I think that's a deserving yellow card.
So SKC2 back in possession, and it's a loose pass towards Pulskamp on his toes. And it's headed out of play by Camden Riley. Pulskamp was there to clean up that loose back pass from Danny Barbier.
Heads up play there from Pulskamp coming off his line and not even trying to play out of it when he's under that much pressure. Just clear the danger and reset.
Now it's a foul on SKC2, not out of play, so it'll be a free kick here on the far side. Maybe a chance for Oklahoma City 2 to get into this. Up towards Ibiaga, and oh, what a strong punch from Pulskamp. Can this release SKC2? Oh, it's a poor touch from Ellis Hayden, and here comes Tyler Freeman charging in on goal. He's got 3 players around him, Freeman. And it's a good tackle in the end. Ellis Hayden able to make amends for his own mistake on the halfway line.
That goes from one side of the field to the other pretty quick there. First, a great punch out from Pulskamp to spring Sporting Kansas City 2 on the counter. Freeman, I think, tried to maybe a little back heel there to Wilson Harris, but good recovery overall from 3 Oklahoma City players.
And another loose pass under no pressure from Oklahoma City. It's out of play. When you want to play possession, you might have some of these loose passes every once in a while. Well, here's the first change of the game in the 56th minute. And it'll be a double change for the home side as Dominic Reshitar replaces Tyler Freeman. And that'll be the end of Ryan Fessler's professional starting debut. It's his first, I guess you call it a full debut for Ryan Fessler, as he is replaced by Duval Wapiwo. And the first start of a young professional career for Ryan Fessler. Always an exciting moment for a young pro. And what'd you make of Ryan Fessler here in his 56 minutes in his first ever professional start?
I think overall, decent performance. I don't think he did too much either way. But on your debut, or on your starting debut, it's almost get through that one. Ultimately, if the team wins, then you had a good performance, and he's leaving the field here with a 2-0 lead. And I think he's got to be happy with that performance.
Only had 19 minutes total this season in 2 appearances, so will definitely increase his minute total here. Ryan Fessler leaving the pitch after 56. There he is, the 19-year-old from the academy, and another Charlotte, North Carolina kid playing for Sporting Kansas City Academy. Had some success in the Carolinas, SKC has. And Fessler will be hoping to be another one of those North Carolina success stories.
Sporting Kansas City is happy to get all those kids before Charlotte gets an MLS team of their own.
Certainly did well when that was kind of a no man's land in terms of the academies and homegrown player territories. Likes of Gianluca Busio, Jalen Lindsay, certainly played a lot of minutes for SKC2, Swope Park Rangers over the years.
Yeah, Carter, and I think it's great to see. We showed a camera view of a few of the Sporting Kansas City guys out here supporting their teammates, their team, especially guys like Gianluca Busio and Jalen Lindsay, and Cam Duke, who have been in the academy. They know a lot of these guys. They played on the Sporting Kansas City too. It just shows the camaraderie within the entire organization of Sporting Kansas City.
You're supporting, like you said, teammates, guys they've grown up with. Of course, talking about North Carolina products here for Sporting Kansas City too. Can't leave out the Rad brothers either. Cave coming along nicely in his development. I know he's highly rated. We talked about him training in preseason with Sporting Kansas City down in Arizona, and had a pretty standout first half in this game as well. Cave Rad coming from Durham, North Carolina on that North Carolina pipeline. Good touch there, Ellis Hayden to get around Montpremier, and he'll slide it over to the right-hand side for Brown. Trying to whip in across. No white shirts in the area, and there is that man Rad with a controlled header out to the newcomer Wapiwo. There's a hefty challenge from Jonathan Brown. And a yellow card for the Welshman. He'll be the first in the books for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Sporting Kansas City, 2 players did not like that challenge coming over. He's clearly second to it. His studs up, is exposed. He's endangering the safety of the player there. It's definitely a yellow, borderline a red card there, I think. But Carter, you mentioned it. Rats, he's been good. He's been calm. I think he's been a big reason why Oklahoma City hasn't had too many clear-cut chances. And we've also seen him when he's got on the ball. He's been able to play out. He's been composed. So I think you're spot on. Very good performance for him.
Saw Peter Kuch there talking to the referee about his displeasure with the challenge, but it's just a yellow card. Jonathan Brown wasn't really sure where he'd line up in this setup for Oklahoma City here today. He's been on the right-hand side as, again, we've seen a lot of kind of a double pivot with Rafael Garcia and Charlie Ward. But Pascarella is saying those 2 players are very similar. They make similar movements on the pitch. Haven't quite gelled together as of yet.
Yeah, Charlie Ward's such a good passer of the ball. We saw him play last year when he was with Ottawa. He just keeps the ball moving. He plays the simple pass, but that's so much, especially as a possession-based team like Oklahoma City is. He really does a good job at keeping the ball moving. But you're right. It's try to how do you fit all the different players that you have in? That's certainly something that John Pascarella is still trying to figure out here.
Yeah, like you said, not just those 2 in midfield, but he's talking about the entirety of the team still trying to gel together. They're playing again a different back 4 here this evening. Just can't quite seem to get a consistent look along that defensive line, and that, of course, is always so crucial to a defense, consistency, and they just haven't had it there along the back line.
Yeah, and it's tough to be successful when you're rotating in your back line or guys on the field, or you don't have the full complement of players that is on your roster, but they have good sequences of play like this.
It's a beautiful build-up play from Oklahoma City here, and it's edge of the area. Bit of a tame shot there from Tucker Stevenson in the end.
Yeah, but good interchange all around there. You see those triangles forming. Guys are moving. You can tell they have a sense of who they are and how they want to play. Again, it's just that final product in and around their box. They just aren't creating those clear-cut opportunities yet.
Over the top here for Dominic Reshitar in as a sub, and just offside there as Rad was trying to play it over the top. Reshitar, there he is, the 20-year-old. Talked about him coming over at the same time as Peter Kuch from Dinamo Zagreb 2. As Kuch heads it back to the captain on the evening, Dylan Cerna. Riley cushions it for Rad, and that's just a no-nonsense clearance as Stevenson was bearing down on his fellow SKC Academy product. Cries from most of the players, but not Mom Premier, who wants to get this thing back started quickly. He's developed a good chemistry with Reshitar. Reshitar with a step over there in the box. That'll be a goal kick for Oklahoma City and a chance to make their first double substitution here on the evening.
Number 5, Joe Amico. Also leaving the game, number 7, Rafa Garcia.
As Rafael Garcia and Joe Amico will make way.
And number 19, Charlie Ward.
As we talked about Charlie Ward, here he is replacing Rafael Garcia. And Kyle Highlands will check in for Joe Amico. Those are 2 pretty much straight swaps there for Oklahoma City. Joe Amico, the former SKC 2-man, lasting just over an hour here. He's coming back from hip surgery in preseason. No, John Pascarella and his coaching staff really like him. He led Orange County in tackles last year. Just easing his way back into things here. Can only play the 60 minutes here today. I think that was pre-planned coming into this game, and just his 3rd start of the season. He's replaced by Kyle Highland.
Yeah, and we certainly saw him getting stuck in out there. He's not shy to get into a few tackles. We saw him get stuck in on Tyler Freeman a couple times, on Jake Davis. He really is a strong tackler. I thought for the most part, first game, getting his feet back under him, I thought he had a good game, especially defensively.
Reshitar exchanges a 1-2 with Harris, pops it over to the near side. Montpremier, one-on-one. Dallas Hayden. It's a good tackle in the end. Brown helping out his fullback. Nice double team to squeeze it away from Montpremier. Looking to go one-on-one in the penalty area there.
A good help defense there coming over as, again, we see Wilson Harris, who's on that edge, who's running the line. Dylan Cernan looked up, he saw him going. It was good last minute intervention there because Wilson Harris was again in on goal.
Christian Ibiaga, apologies. Able to slide that one out of play. Read the ball really well there. Ensuing corner kick into the area and smashed home by Danny Barbier. It's 3-0 SKC2.
Good finish there on the corner. First, a good ball that's whipped into the back post here. Barbier, as it's coming to him, it's kind of floated up, lofted in there, just beats his man. A simple little inside of the left finish, which he probably didn't expect that to fall to him. Oh, it takes a little deflection actually there. You see on the replay, I think it was going wide, but fortunate deflection there. But hey, Sporting Kansas City 2 will take it now as they lead 3-0.
Well, Danny Barbier will be hoping that goes down as a goal. It would be his second of the season for SKC2.
That's a goal for me, Carter. It's a shot. It's going near. You don't know.
Not quite sure if that's going on frame or not. Jacob Peterson making his case to the goals committee. That sounds like an attacker making a plea, though.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure on the other end, Charlie Ward will be hoping it's not an own goal, but really inconsequential in terms of the score still being 3-0, and Oklahoma City now find themselves with a mountain to climb to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, they do here with 67th minute. It's going to be a tall task, especially with just how they haven't created too many opportunities, as much possession as they have. We talked about it, but Sporting Kansas City has done a good job at minimizing the opportunities that they've been giving up.
SKC2 have taken their opportunities on the other end. There's some good build up there. Wilson Harris will chase Christian Ibiaga. He's done well to shrug off the challenge of the SKC2 forward. That was some good play along the back line between Pulskamp and Barbier to create that chance for SKC2. You see Pulskamp with the ball at his feet. Really something he works on, and we've seen it a few times here throughout this game.
And that's something that a goalkeeper at Sporting Kansas City within this club that you're going to be asked to do, even if it might pull you out of your comfort zone initially. But we've seen Tim Melia with the first team, how he's developed his feet, and it's such a big component of how they want to play, how they want to build out of the back. And Pulskamp, again, he's developing and getting these games too. It's one thing to do it in training, but to get these games, to have real pressure and to be able to do it is a good sign for Sporting Kansas City.
Riley with a good interception there. He finds Wapiwo. There's a good tackle from Ward, and he shrugs off the challenge of Wapiwo. Here is Charlie Ward, Aston Villa Academy product, making his 8th appearance on the season for Oklahoma City. And you talked about his passing range, and that was exactly what John Pascarella pinpointed in wanting to bring Charlie Ward here to Oklahoma City. It was, I believe, deflection off of him resulted in that 3rd goal. And another ball tried to play in behind there, this time Jake Davis. But you asked Jacob Peterson if Oklahoma City was going to step a little higher, and certainly after this 3rd goal, it looks like they are trying to really play a high line here towards the latter stages of this game.
Yeah, and as the minutes go by too, they're going to get a little bit more desperate. It's I think the opportunity is there for Wilson Harris if he can time his run right to get in on goal and get on his hat trick.
Certainly has to be in the back of his mind. Wilson Harris, 2 first-half goals, trying to complete that hat trick here in the second half as SKC2 in the 70th minute with a 2-goal lead here in their only home game of 2020. It is officially a closed-door game here, closed to the public anyways for SKC2. Don't want to hear the internet make any jokes about attendance. As it's a foul against SKC2, and Hernandez tries to start things quickly. SKC2 really looked comfortable in defending this 3-goal lead at the moment. Reshitar waiting for help.
Well done to recycle possession there and keep it.
Excellent wing play from Dominic Reshitar. Carried it from his own half and allowed the rest of his teammates to catch up with him. And here is SKC2 back in possession. And it is the Croatian Reshitar, and this time not as good with the ball at his feet. Straight into the path of Stevenson, and so Oklahoma City can take over. Oh, and that's a loose pass from Lorendi. Here comes Montpremier across the edge of the 6, and oh, Wilson Harris was lurking. Last-ditch challenge there from Ibiaga.
Good intervention there from Ibiaga, because really, I'd like to see maybe be a little bit more selfish there. First good step, first from Jake Davis, then from Wilson Harris. He picks it off. Oh, I guess I'd like to see him maybe shoot that one, be a little bit more selfish when he's in the box there, but good read there overall collectively from Sporting Kansas City too. When one guy goes, then the next guy goes, and it's a domino, it's a chain effect there for these guys. So good pressing from Sporting Kansas City too.
Montpremier does lead SKC2 in chances created this season. Had a couple in the first half. Still looking for his first goal for SKC2. Maybe that was the moment. Elected to try and tee it up for Wilson Harris on his hat trick. Miscommunication there as Charlie Ward just plays this one through the end line. It'll be another goal kick for SKC2.
Yeah, Carter, that's one from Montpremier there that if he passes it and Wilson Harris has a tap in, it's a great play, right? But if he doesn't and it's getting picked off there, then you'd like to see him be a little bit more selfish, but still a good read overall from him.
Pulskamp looking at the balls. We've got a bit of an injury here around the center of the pitch. Peter Kuic, something wrong with Croatian midfielder. Isaac, the trainer, will take a look at him and see if Kuic can continue on. Of course, the expanded substitutions taking in place all over the world of soccer this year, and Paulo Nagamura talked about he really wants to take advantage of the substitutions and being able to make 5 of them every game, especially when you're a club trying to give young players a chance. He's really enjoying the ability to make 5 substitutions every single game, and here it will be the 3rd this evening as Jahan Rad joins his brother on the pitch, replacing Peter Kuic, who we hope everything is okay with Kuic as he makes his way to the bench nursing that injury.
Yeah, we do, because he did have a good game, not only defensively and dealing with a lot of that pressure, making sure that they don't get too many, Oklahoma City doesn't get too many opportunities in and around that zone, but his assist too on Wilson Harris' second goal was perfectly timed through ball, great weight on it. He recognized immediately the space was in behind. Good performance from Kuic.
So a shot for Jahan Rad to get in the action here. The ball is over his head and it'll go out to the left-hand side. Stevenson. Rad making his 4th appearance on the season. shielding work there from Wapiwo as strides forward in midfield. And Montpremier trying to slip it in behind for Wilson Harris. He's timed his run to perfection. One-on-one with the keeper. Oh, he hasn't timed it. It's offside. Far side AR raises the flag, and Wilson Harris so close on the edge there.
And Carter, initially I thought that he timed it well. So we'll see on the replay. But let's see here. As Montpremier, he's on there. I think, you can't quite tell from that camera angle, but I think he's on. I don't know about you, Carter.
Yeah, he looks on to me. They're just checked his run back in at the last second. It is really tight. The AR would have had a better angle than us, but that is a tight offside decision. And you would have liked your chances for Wilson Harris one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, but there it is. I think there's going to be another opportunity. If he timed that one well, but I think there's going to be another chance that he gets where he's just playing on that edge.
Here he is with the back heel flick into the run of Reshitar. He wanted a foul as Ward was tracking back with him, nothing given by the referee. Harris just trying to flick that into the path. A little 1-2 with Reshitar.
It was a good interchange. It certainly seen that call given before. I wouldn't say it's a glaring miss, but definitely seen that one called on more than one occasion, Carter.
Nothing given this time. Charlie Ward rewarded for his tracking Reshitar's run. Riley now looking, and is this time, oh, this time he's offside again. Wilson Harris.
I think the AR got that one right. I think he a little bit late there in getting back and getting on.
The third substitution of the game this evening for Oklahoma City.
He's replaced by number 6, Brad Dunwell.
Brad Dunwell will check into the game. Didn't quite see who he was replacing. Get that to you in just a second here as we're into the second half water break. Just over 75 minutes played here. Still 86 degrees in Kansas City. So these two teams will have the ability to get some water, and also these are, we've talked about it in MLS as well as USL Championship. These are mini timeouts for each coaches.
Yeah, they are, and I think I guess it depends on how the run of play is going, but a lot of times I think coaches like this opportunity to get everybody together, make, even if they're just little adjustments. Of course, though, on the flip side, if you're playing well and you're on the front foot, then you don't want these. But I think overall, most coaches like this opportunity. They get to talk to their guys, and obviously the players like it as well. Maybe take a little breather, figure some stuff out, talk some things out, get everything really short up here, especially in the second half where you got 15 minutes to go. But I'm sure Paulo Nagamura was giving his team some instruction, and he's got to be pleased overall with how this team has played over the first 75 minutes.
And I think certainly off the back of a disappointing result in Louisville, where he's been happy with the way the team has played all year. He wasn't happy with the way they played on Wednesday in Louisville and the soft goals they conceded in that 4-1 loss. And they're sitting on a clean sheet here after 75 minutes, SKC 2. Nice reversal in fortunes on the defensive end for the home side. As we are back underway. These two teams, not the first time they've seen each other this year. It is the first time that counts, but they had a preseason game way back before the season started. This one's pumped long by Lorendi. Again, it's Kave Rad cleaning things up along the back line. They had a preseason game, and then they had a return to play preseason game as well. These two teams getting together a week before this return to play started in the USL Championship. So a bit of familiarity between the two sides.
Certainly, historically, these two teams have played each other quite a bit, being so close in proximity and having so many different connections between the two organizations. But since Sporting Kansas City switched over conferences, they haven't played as often as they did in the past. But like you said, Carter, they might not have played officially, but these two teams know each other pretty well.
Just confirmation on that substitution. Thank you to the stat man, Sam Covson, as Brad Dunwell replaced Jonathan Brown, who was on a yellow card as well. Paul Nagamura looking on. As Jake Davis goes tumbling over. Good challenge from Vasiljevic to win the ball back for Oklahoma City. Riley, though, reads that well, and Jahan Rad back to his brother Kave. Twin brothers, just turned 19 this summer.
I think that is such a cool thing for two brothers. Obviously, they've twins for that matter, that they've grown up playing together, but you really don't see that two twins like this that make it to the professional level. Playing here, it's really a cool thing to see, and it's something that I'm sure their parents are very proud about.
Certainly cool to watch those two grow in their respective positions as well. So there's a substitution. Get to that in a second as this one's clipped in. Wapiwo heads it clear. And here is the substitute into the game, Jarrett Townsend, out of the University of Washington. Was a draft pick this year for SKC. Wound up here with SKC 2, and he replaces Wilson Harris, who might have an angry word with Paul Nagamura on the sideline, not letting him go after that hat trick, but put in an excellent shift here today, Wilson Harris.
Every forward will, right? Every forward wants to be, when you're sitting on two, you never want to come out, especially in a game where 3-0, you might be able to get in and sneak another chance, but good performance from him. I think overall he did exactly what he was supposed to do and put Kansas City in a good spot here to win the game.
Of course, these teams just play on Wednesday as well, so they have young legs, but Paul Nagamura doing his best to rotate the squad. And there's a wayward touch from Hernandez. Good feet there. Wapiwo around Vasiljevic.
Wapiwo's had a few good sequences here, whether it's his strength in possession or his quick feet. Technical ability on the ball. He's shown some good flashes here in his 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so.
20-year-old, born in Cameroon, and came over from the Czech club MFK Vyskov. This one's clipped forward by Pulskamp and out of play. Montpremier was watching it closely, but just over his head. 7.5 minutes remain here in Kansas City. SKC 2 trying to go 1-0 and have a 100% home record in 2020. Not many teams can say that.
They'll take it, right?
Them and Liverpool, both up there in terms of their home performances this season. Stevenson, that's a clever back heel to find Ward. Just trying to drive it forward, and just didn't see anything, so lay it off to Brad Dunwell, who's 56th pick in 2019 Super Draft for Houston Dynamo. Spent last year with Rio Grande Valley. Another Michiganer on the pitch from Grand Rapids.
West Sider too. It's my side of the state there.
How about that move from Reshitar? And he's looking for Montpremier. It's a wonderful ball. Top of the box. Montpremier shifting it to his right foot. Wanted a foul, but it's just strong defensive play from Christian Ibiaga.
I thought it opened up there for him. I thought he was have a good view up here from the press box, just to shape it and whip around it, hit it far post. He kind of stuttered there, and once he did, Oklahoma City collapsed and defended it well.
Certainly did look like a window open there, and Montpremier just wanted to keep driving inside. Again, the ball over the top, this time looking for Townsend. Headed back to the goalkeeper. Ward. Looking for the big switch. Just didn't get his accuracy right there. And Dylan Cerna. It's been a pretty solid left back here this evening, wearing the captain's armband. Of course, coming over from the Colorado Rapids, Dylan Cerna.
Yeah, I think it has been. I think everybody on the back line for Sporting Kansas City 2 has been solid. Again, they haven't given up much, even with all that possession. They've done well, too, when they've had the ball to build out of the back. I think it's been a solid performance defensively. Paulo Nakamura's got to be happy with it.
There's a good entry pass from Barbier, and you see what Davis was trying to do, just flick it over the defender out to the right-hand side for Townsend to run onto, but just kind of popped it straight up instead of out to the right. Good idea from Davis, didn't quite come off. Pulskamp taking his time here and play it out to Camden Riley.
Another player we haven't talked about a whole lot, but Camden Riley, I've been impressed with. Usually in that defensive mid type of role. Out there, he's been put out on the right-hand side. And I think he's done a real good job at learning that position. And tonight, again, solid performance. Hasn't given up much. Good performance from Riley.
How about that? Walking the tightrope here. Wapiwo, he's kept possession, and it's led to this for Sporting Kansas City 2. Brilliant stuff from the midfielder. Now Townsend looking for Jake Davis, and that was an awkward one. Some cramps there from Jake Davis as he goes down holding that left leg.
That's what it looks like there. He's pulling up his toe. Got in a good spot, too. That's certainly not when you want the cramp to hit you right there.
Well, if he's cramping, he's fighting through it as he goes back to win this, tries to slide it into Reshitar, and Reshitar unhappy with the foul called against him, and it results in him going into the pocketbook as well. Yellow card issued to Dominic Reshitar. There's the work rate you talked about with Jake Davis. Jacob Peterson, as he's holding his leg, cramping up, pops to his feet, puts a tackle in and wins possession back for SKC2.
It's excellent from him. Whether it was the actual cramp or the old I lose the ball, I'm going to grab my foot. I think every single player out there has done that. And if they say they haven't, then they're lying.
I'm sure he'll never disclose which it was. But here's a free kick for Oklahoma City after the foul on Ellis Hayden. He's worn a few fouls here this evening, the right back for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he's gotten beat up a little bit. I think actually he's had a pretty good performance. He's just been in the middle of a lot of these skirmishes, and here's his team a good free kick opportunity here.
Into the game comes Cordell Cato. He'll replace Jaime Chavez, who looks a man defeated. It was a long 87 minutes, I think, for Chavez. Really starved of service for the majority of the game. And Cordell Cato, who has been nursing a hamstring injury, checks into the game. This one's still alive in the area, blocked away by Jahan Rad. For a second there, it looked like Oklahoma City might have something off that set piece. Block shot there by Jahan Rad.
Yeah, the miss-hit free kick there almost led to something for Oklahoma City. But Carter, yeah, back to your point, Chavez, he had a rough one out there. I think the Sporting Kansas City overall, their back four and five really limited his service. He didn't get on the ball too often. And when he did, he was swarmed, which sometimes is a lonely spot for a forward.
Oh, this ball is placed perfectly into the path of Townsend. He slides it across the 6, and it's another sliding challenge for Ibiaga. It's still alive, though. Wapiwo! Oh, off the line. Ellis Hayden there, bailing out his team, clears it off the line, and it's still 3-0.
All right, that's a great interchange. We're just talking about Camden Riley. A great ball down the sidelines here. Takes a good first touchdown, then he whips the ball in. Decent little intervention here, but he just clears it off the line there. That's a good good job there from dropping in when your goalkeeper comes out, but big opportunity there from Sporting Kansas City too.
Apologies, Montpremier getting forward and takes his corner kick. Just curling in towards the near post on the second attempt, and Riley's shot harmlessly wide to the left-hand side of Lorendi's goal.
Montpremier does everything right there almost. He's still searching for that first goal, as you said, but he does everything right, gets it on target. It's just an unlucky play from a player who's put in a good performance tonight, but he just can't seem to find the back of the net.
Ellis Hayden, man on the spot there to deny Fredinho Montpremier. Here he is on the ball. And just a miscommunication there, done well. Plays it out of bounds. Cordell Cato into the game. Of course, 135 appearances in MLS.
4 minutes of added time in the second half. 4 minutes.
Good to see him recover from that hamstring injury, and he's got just a little run out here to try and get back into game shape.
Yeah, he definitely had a run there where he had some success in MLS for a few different seasons. A guy who we thought, if he's fully healthy, might be a bigger piece of this Oklahoma City team. But as we talked about earlier, they're just missing a lot of those key contributors. Tiba Harris, a guy who's had so much experience in MLS and in USL, and it's really been a good player over the years. And when you're missing guys of that caliber, of that quality, it's really tough to conjure up goals and create those opportunities.
Of course, we talked about the back line, and there's a great ball over the top, just drifting away from Jake Davis. The inconsistencies along the back line, inability to have a back four that you can play game in, game out. But we've seen some good passing stuff here from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, we have. And Carter, I just want to, that ball, Jake Davis makes a great run out of the midfield, something that Paulo Nagamura did so well in his playing career. Once the forward checks off, he attacked that space, but then even though it was a little bit overhit, some guys might have hung their head and thought, oh, I should have been in there, I was in on goal, but his reaction, I was watching him, immediately he turns back and sprints all the way back to midfield to get back into position. Just a great quality that Jake Davis has.
There's his pass intercepted, and it's a chance now for Vasiljevic. A couple of step overs as well to lose Cerna. Blocked away, Montpremier stepping in, and it's a good sliding challenge. Vasiljevic keeps it in for Oklahoma City. Be off Cerna, out of play for a corner kick here. We're into the 4 minutes of added time here in Kansas City. Along the ground, still alive in the area, and Davis just hacks this one out of play. At this point, SKC2 just trying to hold on to this clean sheet. Taken quickly, it's Cato. Looking for Ellis Hayden. Cleared away by SKC2. Now Cato again. Lofting it in behind the back line. Barbier attentive to the danger. And now Reshitar going 1-on-2. Dominic Reshitar, edge of the area. Reshitar takes a deflection. Took the sting out of it. Lorendi able to put two grateful paws. Grab that ball to his chest.
Yeah, I like that from Reshitar. Being aggressive, going to goal. At this point, when you got a 3-0 lead, you can take those chances. But a good deflection there overall from Oklahoma City to snuff out that danger.
Into the last minute of added time here. SKC2 looking to get their third win on the season, go to 10 points on the season. Really trying to fight their way in this Group E, such a tough group as well. This will go a long way, and they will be able to brag about a 100% home record in 2020, SKC2. Riley smashes this one off a defender. It'll be out of bounds right next to Paulo Nagamura's bench.
Camden Riley will take as much time as he can here as he walks over to get this ball.
A good performance from SKC2, very efficient. Took their chances, really limited the chances for Oklahoma City. And there are 3-0 victors here in Kansas City. Wilson Harris with the brace. And a goal that, see if it's credited to Danny Barbier on the corner kick. Doesn't matter in the end in terms of the result. It's 3-0, 3 points to Sporting Kansas City 2 as they win their only home game in 2020. Stick with us, we'll be right back for the highlights from the SKC 2 victory. Three 0 here, the final score for SKC2 as they are victors over Oklahoma City Energy. And I've misspoke, their only home game of the restart, I should say. Of course, they started the season, and I think that was 32 years ago now in 2020. But it's 3 goals for the home side, and it started with a wonderful goal from Wilson Harris.
Yeah, we've seen it. It's that composure that he has. Your eyes can get too big in that moment, and here's the second one. It's even better because the finish, he takes it a little bit quick there, caught the goalie off guard, and a corner kick here. Barbier does a great job, beats his man to the spot. Simple little left-footed, inside of the foot finish to give Sporting Kansas City a 3-goal lead.
There's a 3-0 final score here. SKC2 winning their only home game of the return to play for USL Championship. And a good performance, Jacob Peterson, overall from the home side.
Yeah, I think Paulo Nagamura's got to be really happy with his performance. They were efficient in the attack. They created some good chances. And really, for 57% possession for Oklahoma City, they didn't create too many shots, only 2 shots on target with all that possession. Good job from that back line and organizing. Overall, Paulo Nagamura's got to be pleased with this performance.
Pleased with the performance, pleased with the 3 points and the 3 goals. And I'm very pleased to have brought this game alongside Jacob Peterson. Thanks to Curtis Lorenz, our producer, TD Joe Novacek, Nolan Woodford, Andy Woods, Jason Briley, Jared Salick, Wyatt Craven, Keaton McGuire, Paul Stokes, Chris Wright, Aaron Clark, graphic superstar Maggie Blair, and supporting Kansas City 2. Trot out 3-0 victors here in Kansas City. Final score 3-0. Thanks for joining.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.